Hello, boys. Welcome to a brand spanking new year's episode 2019. Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year, boys. Thank you for sticking with us over the last couple weeks. We took a couple weeks off, but we're back now. And we're going to do a little foreshadowing for the pod next week. But first, say hello to producer Krazzer.
Boys, it's great to be back. Had a nice holiday, great Christmas, had a happy New Year. Wish all you boys and girls the same. But it's great to be back on the pod here, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a lot of notable events that happened over the last couple weeks. Some Bitcoin related, others related to financial markets in general. We saw the S&P 500 take a pretty large hit. And we also saw their total market capitalization of Apple drop by the total amount of money in Bitcoin. So, it wasn't very great for shareholders, but at the same time, we did see crypto markets stay pretty steady during that time, and they showed that they're not directly related, nor are they inversely related, although we did see a slight pump when the S&P was taking a hit last week. However, today we saw an absolutely massive sell-off. Crypto markets dropped like crazy. The total market capitalization was just bleeding out. Ripple took over Ethereum's spot as the second top market cap coin. Bitcoin, at the time we are recording this, Thursday night, Bitcoin is sitting right around 3,600. It's below 3,700. All the top cryptos are down. Bitcoin's down about 10% on the day. Ripple's down about 10% on the day as well. Ethereum is the biggest loser among the top 5 market cap coins, down a whopping 15.85%. However, with that said, it is notable to let you know that Ethereum was experiencing a pretty good surge before we saw this huge sell-off, and that was most likely due to the fork that's coming up. I believe it's called Constantinople, and Ethereum pushed back up to around $160, and now at the time we're recording this, Ethereum is sitting right around $120 or $127 at the time we're recording this. And overall, it hasn't been a great year for crypto. 2018 was a pretty shit year. Not much happened. The markets, to many, they thought the markets died, but this is a pretty healthy correction that we're experiencing, and I suspect we haven't found the bottom yet. And we're going to continue to test that range to see where the actual bottom is before we can move any further up. And there was a big bearish flag yesterday when we saw the price continue to rise. It was above 4K, but we saw the volume rapidly decreasing, and that is a bearish flag and an indicator to get into a short position. So if you missed that one, you'll catch them next time, boys. And if you want some free advice and analysis, make sure to hit that link in our description box. Join the BitMEX Syndicate. It's absolutely free, and you get detailed analysis and explanation every single day, delivered straight to your phone, absolutely free. Now, furthermore, there's been a lot of news breaking that several tobacco shops in Paris, France have started selling Bitcoin despite a large degree of regulatory uncertainty. And although this isn't the most noteworthy story, we did see a lot of controversy being created online about it, and that's what led us to create our framework for the episode next week on the pod. So next week, Krazzer and I are going to discuss all of the most noteworthy stories from 2018 about Bitcoin and crypto in general. We're going to see what we thought would happen, what we thought wouldn't happen, And we're also going to go over a lot of the top crypto quote-unquote gurus, what they were saying and predicting at the beginning of the year versus what actually happened toward the end of the year. So if there's any stories, boys, that you want to see us discuss, like I said, this Paris story is just another example of the news that seems to be irrelevant, however, catches major traction online. So if there's anything like that, any of those sleeper picks you got for us, make sure leave them in the comments, send us an email or send us a DM, and we'll go over the story that you pick. Alright, so that's it for today, boys. Real short episode. No products to buy. Nothing to see here. Enjoy your week and make sure send us a story you want to see us discuss and we will discuss it next week for you. We'll be back to the full length episodes. Krazzer and I are going to make our picks right now, and we will go back to the regular format of the show after next week's pod. So let's get after it here. Last thing before we close up shop, a little house cleaning. Bitcoin's sitting at 36.50 right now. Krazzer, what's your pick for next week?
Listen here, boys. I'm going to be optimistic to start the year off. I think we're going to see a little bit of an increase next week and the next week, and I think it's going to raise up to about 4K. So my pick is I'm taking the over for next week, boys.
That is perfect. I will go directly against you, and despite the fact that we push so low, I am still a believer that we haven't found the bottom, and we will find it soon. I'm hoping this will be the week or 2 weeks or month that we find the bottom, and then we can start that steady climb back up to the top. So make sure, hold strong. I'm taking the under for next week, and we'll see how we do on the picks, and we will get into the nitty-gritty of all the stories that happened in 2018 next week. Thanks for listening, boys. We'll catch you next episode.